that going. There we go. We want to put it on slideshow. There we go. Thank you so much. All right, so good evening, everyone. I know people are still logging in, so we'll keep an eye out for everyone. And I'll also keep an eye out for anyone who might be in the guest room, and David will do the same. And I'm going to breeze through these first 4 slides, starting with our Zoom regular webinar information. We are being recorded. The microphones are on mute. Use your real name. Raise your hand to speak. That would be the virtual hand on the bottom, unless, of course, you are driving. You can wiggle your hand. I'll try to keep an eye out for you. Next slide. I'm going to say our code of conduct will all be respectful. Oh, look, code of conduct. As always, we just treat each other with respect. Sometimes the project can be controversial depending on where you sit. And we just want to respect all ideas and, embrace the moment. We're going to get through this. Oscar's not here yet, but for anyone else, just to remind you, the role of the stakeholder working group is to be a project liaison. Information we share with you, you can share with the community, and vice versa. Bring it back to us. Are you hearing things? Are there things that we need to be addressing? Please do let us know. We have been, focused on getting everyone briefed on all the technical areas of the project. Help collaborate. And I will tell you, over this time, it has really helped us hone in on our presentations and make sure that they are understandable. And sometimes it makes them longer, but it's really important that everybody understands the whys and the whats that are happening. Okay, next slide. So our agenda this evening, we have a pretty short meeting. Actually, we'll do our standard agenda. We're going to do a roll call, and I hope I hear from all of you. And we're going to review our previous meetings from the past couple of years, and then I'll provide a community outreach update. We haven't seen each other or really communicated a whole lot in the last 6 months, so there's been a lot of community outreach, so we've got a lot of catching up to do. We'll give a project update and then open up discussion and wrap up. Next slide, please. So Laura is driving, so I'm not going to ask her to speak unless she's able to speak. So I know she's here, but I would like to hear if there's any, when you're back, when it's safe. Hello, John. If there's any updates you would like to share with us, we can come back to you when it's safe, or you can just raise your hand when you are parked in a good spot. Ernesto is trying to log in. He's not here yet. I know he's trying. Not sure if Oscar's here yet. He is new to our group. He comes from Working Partnerships USA, and his focus is on transportation and housing. So I'm looking forward to getting to know him and having him work with us. Craig said he'd be here. I don't know. Am I getting preempted by something else? Sandy, we'll start with you.
Hi, everyone. Present. I have no updates at this time.
Okay, thank you. Well, I'm glad you're here. And I know Sandy has to leave at 7 for another board meeting. Julie is driving, so only if it's safe. If you feel comfortable, you can wave. Okay, we'll come back. John, hi, how's it going? You have any updates, anything you'd like to share that we should know, or? You're on mute, there you go.
I am on mute. No, good to be back. Good to see everybody again. Hope everybody's well.
It's very good to see everybody. Thank you. 6 months was too long. Andreas?
Hi, also good to be back. No updates at this time.
Okay. We're gonna get started. Okay, y'all know Kathleen. We don't have anyone in the audience, so don't have to worry about it. So y'all know me. David is here as also. Say hey, David. Or not. Okay.
Oh, sorry, I had to find my mute.
Please don't make me do all the talking to everybody tonight. Okay, Ben is here.
Good evening.
And Hassan's going to be late, and Ken is unable to join us this evening. Okay, next slide. Told you we're going to breeze through this really fast. All right, so February, it's been 6 months since we have all hung out and seen each other. At that meeting, We followed our normal format. We provided a community outreach review and shared with you the neighborhood association meetings we did, any tabling event, and things that were coming up. We had a couple questions about what the Story Road station looked like. So we are trying to put together we are putting together an FAQ so that we can share that out with everyone, have photos available so that we can always get to it quickly and make it easier for the public to find. I did update everyone that Jessica and Jeremy had stepped down from the PAB and that there were more nominations from the Policy Advisory Board. And so Huascar Castro is our new member. And looking forward to having him participate more. Okay, let's see. We did project updates, talked about the real estate, engineering, construction. We always update on these meetings. And we focused a whole lot. We've been building on all the construction impacts, and we focused the last couple of meetings on the noise and vibration. And at the last meeting, we really talked about the vibration criteria. And that's the slide I put up there today was just kind of like a little jog your memory, that the homes that you see in the red that's only some of them. But some of the homes that we will be reaching out to when we are ready in the construction stage to ask permission to see if they will let us assess their property, take pictures. And it's to make sure that if there was any result of pile driving, that we're able to document it, because of course we would fix that. And while we do not expect any of that to happen, we just want to make sure. So we focused a lot on that. What I'm unable to do at this time is provide a date when this is going to start, when that program will start. That's going to happen when we are ready to start construction. Let's see. That was kind of the gist of it. Was there any questions? I don't see hands and I don't see people's hands up in real life. Okay. Wait. Julie, was that a hand or was that just a driving?
Oh, no, I'm at a stoplight now, so nothing new from me.
Okay, sorry. All right, great. Moving on. Oh, can you go back? Thank you. Okay, so this August marks 2 years that we've been meeting. We started this in August of 2020, so I just want to thank all of you for hanging in there. We have covered. We started with the project overview and the history. So when we say overview, I'm talking about it's 2.4 miles long. It's an above grade light rail extension from the Alum Rock Station down Eastridge in the median, all the way to Eastridge. I'm sorry, down Capitol Expressway, down to Eastridge. And then it lands back at grade. And there will be a station at Story. It is accessed by the pedestrian overcrossing or an elevator. So you have stairs and an elevator to get you up there. We also talked about the community outreach and goals, purpose of this group. We had a presentation on next generation technology. If you recall, that was when people were questioning, should this be for light rail? Is there something else that's coming up? And at this point in time, light rail still fits our needs for VTA. So we are moving forward with light rail. We discussed the Ocala area history a lot. The Ocala station that had originally, or that was part of the original plans, was eliminated in 2014. And we talked extensively about the ridership issues, the right-of-way issues, and we met in the field. And then we also talked about tree removal and mitigation. You might recall there's around 200 trees that are being removed, but for every tree removed, it's like $1.5 or basically $750, almost $96,000 will go back to the community through our city forest to be planted within half mile of the project. So we definitely want to mitigate that and have more trees than we remove. We talked about the overview of the structure construction. We talked a lot about traffic impacts and the reason for the traffic impacts from construction are from construction and the space we need. I'm going to go ahead and go to the next slide, please. Good spot. This is an example of when we talked about the history. I'm going to back up a little here. This project's been delivered in phases. And we started with the sidewalk and landscape along Capitol Expressway. This was going on in 2011 when I started on August 29th, 2011. My Monday is my 11-year anniversary. And then in 2015, we completely redid the Eastridge Transit Center. And then when you look on the photo on the bottom, where it looks like that little alien parking lot, it looks like an alien, but it's the park and ride shot on the park and ride lot on the left. That landscaped area just above it, that is where the light rail station is going to go. Okay, let's see, we're on 11. I have my little speaking points, but then I kind of go off, and so I need to get back in there. Let's see what else. So on this map, I just want to kind of remind everybody, we are talking about on the right-hand side, the orange line, the dotted line where it says Alum Rock to Eastridge, that is the area. I put a little X in there, and this is all not to scale, but that little X is to show everybody where the Berryessa station is, because I caught myself saying Berryessa last meeting a lot, saying, oh, it'll take you to the Berryessa station, but I really meant Milpitas. So I just want to show everyone, it does not intersect with Berryessa. It takes you to Milpitas, and it also doesn't intersect with the proposed BART station at 28th Street. So that's going to be located kind of along where it says Alum Rock. Okay, next slide. We talked a lot about the traffic. As I mentioned earlier, we showed, how large the scale of everything is, and how we're using as minimum space as we can for access on one side to walk, another access on the other side for construction vehicle access. And then also when we have activities like pouring of concrete, we'll need even more space. But the intent is to make sure we do have during peak traffic hours in the morning and evening to maintain 3 lanes of traffic in each way and only take these lanes during non-peak hours. Go ahead and go to the next slide. And we talked about, you can hit it 2 more times. I didn't mean to make it timed, but I did. We talked about, when you look at the whole alignment, there's going to be activity during this whole time. So we talked about, the noise and the vibration activities that happen, the scale of everything that's going on. And we focused a lot on this time on the general steps to build the bridge and kind of the sequencing of, we start the column. There are 70 columns over the length, all the pile driving that goes in to make each column. And then as one area is done, the sequencing of the project moves forward, south, north. Okay, next. We started out, I guess, about a year ago, we did a really in-depth presentation on utility relocation. We showed you all the areas that we can expect it. We showed where the PG&E towers, that section of Capitol Expressway where they were going to be relocated. We talked, and now we are in utility relocation. So we've been providing updates on, we said it was coming, now it's happening, here's what's complete, here's what's happening next. Mary Rubin from the city of San Jose came and she gave a presentation on the art enhancement program. You might recall that we have contracted with the city of San Jose's art program to manage this park for us. And we thought we were going to have community meetings in the spring, and there have been delays. And so we're really aiming for fall now. And by fall, I mean late October, early November. And one of the, we had also shared with you previously that we had selected artists. And we've had some administrative changes to one of our artists. So we're not going to be working with Pay White. Her art is amazing. But we are going to go with another artist that we feel is better suited. His name is Emir Fala, and we're getting his contracts together, and I look forward to being able to share a little bit more information. And what I'm hoping is to get this meeting. I was originally going to advertise this meeting much earlier, and I had to pull it out of the newsletter that just went out, and I'll keep that as a separate notice. Ernesto made it, yay. Okay, and I mentioned earlier, we focused a lot on noise and vibration. Let me go to the next slide. And before I do this, any questions? And I also want to give Ernesto a chance to say hello.
Hi, hello everyone. Good afternoon.
How are you,
ladies.
Ernesto?
Doing fine, thanks.
Ernesto,
How are you?
Did you have any updates you want to share? Anything from the community feedback that you'd like to jump in and share at this time? And you don't have to. I just wanted to give you that opportunity.
No, not right now. No, nothing new there. Yeah, the only event we have was yesterday about Viva Parks. Yeah.
Oh, what
we
was that?
had Viva Parks. We
Yeah.
have in the Hillview Park yesterday. But was
Oh.
yesterday. Yeah, little 1 day late. Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know about that one. All right. Well, I'll give you, thank you, Ernesto.
Thank
So,
you.
what
Sorry
were these
for that.
last weeks? Oh, no, it's okay. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you made it. I know it's not always easy. Okay, so community outreach. We've had, I'm going to cover 6 months here of outreach that we have worked on. Most recently, we've updated every year. We do an annual update on the fact sheet, and these are on the web page. That is the document on the left. I have it written. I'm showing the Vietnamese one because I wanted to remind myself to tell you these are translated. They're available in English, Spanish, Vietnamese, Chinese, Korean, and Tagalog. And the only updates to the fact sheet were really to the schedule of the project and also the project budget. The next one is we have a newsletter that went out. It actually dropped in the mail on Monday. It was supposed to go out about 3 weeks ago due to a paper shortage. They just finally got it printed and mailed out. Luckily, it wasn't time sensitive, but it provides, actually, I'm hoping you receive it like around now. And now I can't see myself, but it looks like this. It's very similar to the last one where it's multi-pages because I have all the translations in there. So no one should have to come to me and say, I need it in Spanish or Vietnamese. It's already there. And it does talk about the future station art that we plan to have the Meet the Artist meeting. I try to keep this section all the time. This is to help remind people to sign up for notifications. This is the one where you are telling me you want to hear from me. Versus next door where it's pretty passive. Provides a review, a little bit on project benefits. And I thought maybe for future newsletters, we could like delve into like more detail about the project benefits. Provides pictures. There are also the utility relocation update, what to expect going forward over the next few months. An update on the stakeholder working group on the changes, that Jessica and Jeremy have stepped down and that we have Huascar now, and an update on the project funding. And this is available, like I said, it's all the languages are already in the mailed version. They're in Spanish, Vietnamese, Chinese, and Tagalog. We mailed out almost 13,000 copies along a half mile, and that's a half mile of either side of the project alignment. And that also includes the absentee owners. So if somebody is a property owner of a business property or a home, a residence, and they do not live along that corridor, they did receive this notice. And over the next couple of weeks, because I know there are people that live outside the half mile that would like a copy of this, I will be placing this at about 25 different locations between the libraries and community centers, places that serve people. And then David and I will also be hitting up all the businesses, just connecting with them, updating our business list. And there's about 120 that will be going door to door on. For community presentation, so we're still staying on the slide. In March, we gave a presentation to District 8 Community Roundtable. And in April, we did the San Jose District 8 Care for Kids. That was at Welch Park. Those are the group pictures on the top. Kind of the middle, the top, middle, and middle. We did another presentation. Actually, we did a presentation in May with Brahms Edgeview Neighborhood Association. Thank you, Andreas. And we also went back to Catherine Smith Elementary School. Catherine Smith Elementary School was also interested in learning more about how to ride VTA, how to obtain a Clipper card. So I was able to have my colleague Julio from our customer service group join us. And in August, just this month, we were at Emma Prush Park. That's the top right photo. That was for National Night Out. And just last week, we were at Catherine Smith Elementary School again for back to school night. They had a resource fair. And so we tweeted about it. The kids were absolutely ridiculously cute. Really fun to engage with. And also while we were at Catherine Smith, in May, I actually connected with their chief of staff and then the other last week with their new superintendent, and they have provided our information to the PTA. So we are expecting to do a lot more engagement with the schools, and not just Catherine Smith, but more schools on the Evergreen School District. So we got one down, got a couple more to go, but I'm starting to get them into my fold. Okay, next.
Kathleen,
Yes.
do you ever visit Cassell, Ocala, Oberfell,
The
Fish
school,
Yeah.
I haven't been able to get invited yet. So that is what I'll be working on.
Do you wait in them to invite you, or
Well,
you
no,
just
no,
can go?
it's getting the connection and getting on their schedules. So like
Okay.
even at Catherine Smith, when they said, oh, we want you to come to PTA meetings, that hasn't happened yet. You know, so we're in contact. So this
Okay.
is kind of the next few months. And then, you know, with summer, I didn't do any school outreach because they were not really available.
Okay, because if you need any connections with those schools, I can give you the connection with the principals.
That's great. And Sandy has also given me some names. So I'll take all of the names. Because
okay.
sometimes if one person doesn't call me back, I can call the next one down until somebody does.
Okay, give me a couple of days and I give
Oh,
a
yeah.
call back to you. That's fine?
I'll call you next week. How's that? I'm putting
Okay.
this down right now. So give me a moment because I do want to just note this because I always think I'm going to remember everything, you guys, and then I don't. So Ernesto's, okay, great. And I'm going to put Ernesto, I'm putting you down for next week to get back
Thank
to you.
you. All right.
So no
Thank you.
rush for tomorrow. Thank you. No, this is great. This it's working, right? It's working. Okay, so we also have put out, so for the utility relocation, and you might recall I've shared this before, the utility companies, so the AT&T or the Valley Water, there's not Valley Water, San Jose Water, they're supposed to do notification based on their permits, and their notification's about 300 feet, and it might just say on some of them, we're working in your area, and that's pretty much all it will say. So I've been able to expand on that information and share that out, and a lot of times I'll just target that area. I won't do the whole corridor unless it will affect the whole corridor. But we've done about 6 notices. And then also David has worked extensively with one of our property owners where it's a shopping center at Capitol Avenue. So where we've just, door to door, person to person direct with the property owner and also the businesses when we were working right along their property. Let's see. Whew, there's more. We've updated the project webpage. In fact, I included a new accordion to put all the project newsletters so that they're just easier to find for everybody. And again, we do put all of the notices in one of the accordions, as well as what's called the notice section of our webpage. And that's what that page, that's what it looks like on the left. Let's see. So we've been following up with stakeholder emails, next door postings, and the web page. And let's see, I think I'm at the part where I'm going to say this private property outreach. Okay. Oh, one of the things we said at the last meeting is that we were looking forward to sharing more updates from PG&E and AT&T and getting them started. Their work has not, it has a little bit of PG&E has started, but that big chunk of work we were expecting has not. I think it's going to start soon. So it's still outstanding. I haven't been able to send those updates yet. And Ben is going to give you some more information about that shortly. And I'm also thinking we might want to start doing a monthly email update. Just here's what happened. Here's what's happening. And, they might be really short or that might have a lot of detail, just depending on where we are with everybody. And then my final one is we're hiring. Community outreach and public engagement is hiring for a public communications specialist. We were hiring last time we met and we did have some interviews. We did make an offer and that person had found another job. So we're back to the drawing board. So if there are folks, that want to work for a government agency, work on really cool projects like this, please send them our way. Or call me and I'll send the link to you. We are recruiting and hopefully we'll get a couple of more people in our group. And I got one more. I'm sorry, David. And then, as I mentioned earlier, the art enhancement meetings, looking for dates, end of October, early November. And really important that for the first meeting will be, I'll have 2 meeting dates. The first one will be in English. It will have a Spanish translator available. The second one, we are going to facilitate completely in Spanish. And for those of us who don't speak Spanish, there will be an interpreter to bring it back to English for us. It's really important to me that I have the whole community, and I don't want language to stop anyone. I want people to feel really comfortable to share and participate. So I look forward to that. Okay, now you can go to the next. And before we let Ven on, does anyone have any questions or comments?
Okay, I have 2 questions. Sorry, I'm too.
Okay, don't be sorry.
Okay.
No.
Do you send those postcards? Do you send already those postcards to the community?
Not for art meeting, just the newsletter, Ernesto. I don't know.
No,
Ernesto, can you
about-
see? I don't know
about
if you're
the
on
project.
phone or,
About the
but just
project?
the newsletter went out.
Okay, but you explain them about the project?
Yes.
Okay. And also I'm sorry, any changes in the project from Ocala staff?
No, actually, thank you for bringing that up. I know, so a couple of things we were going to do. We were going to meet, there was some questions about soil. We were going to meet with Eastside leaders, and that meeting was postponed. I believe somebody was ill or something, and so that needs to be rescheduled. And then, and I know Cindy Chavez has also been working very closely with Eastside leaders. And there's going to be another meeting, and a couple of ETA staff will be in that, and that will be in October, to look at what are some potential solutions. And I don't know what this looks like yet. But Cindy Chavez and also my colleague Manalo Gonzalez, I don't know if you guys know him or not. He's working with her office closely with Hope, and I know they're meeting with Danny Garza next week to talk about an agenda. And I'm trying to get a space for that meeting. So I have some follow-up tomorrow on some calls that I put out. And Andreas, hi.
Hi, I got a question. Is the same artist responsible for the Story Road station and Eastridge Mall, or will each station have their own artist?
Each station has their own. Good question. So Laura Haddad, it's a team, it's a couple. Laura Haddad and Tom Drugan are going to, they have the Eastridge station. And the gentleman that's going to work on Story, his name is Amir Fala. So we'll have 2 different artists, different styles. And we don't know we don't know what they're thinking yet. They need to meet the community first before they come up with any conceptual ideas. And then we would have, after we do that first round of meetings, we would come back in a few months and they would present based on their research, based on meeting you, their ideas and concepts for each station.
Okay.
So
And sorry, and what was the name of the team that's doing Eastridge Mall?
Laura Haddad, Haddad.
Okay.
Tom Drugan, Drugan.
Tom Drugan. Okay. Drugen.
Drugan.
An. Okay. Okay. Thank you.
You bet. All right, and before okay, I still see a hand up, so I need to make sure. Okay, that was you. All right. Any other questions? Otherwise, I'm going to hand this over to Ben.
Thank you, Kathleen. So we're progressing well on the project. So I'm going to give you an update on the real estate engineering and construction. In regards to real estate, so we have almost completed all the real estate acquisition. That's good news. We just have one parcel left for acquisition. This is out of the 32 or 33 we needed for this project. Some are temporary construction easements, some are permanent easements, some are, we call it acquisition fee, small parcels that we need for the project. So these are all parcels along Capital Expressway that's needed for the project. So one small piece of land at the corner of Tully and Capitol Expressway that belongs to the county. We are working with the county, but it needs approval from FAA, Federal Aviation Administration. So we're working with them closely. So we hope to have this completed by December. So that's our target. So it's been taking long on this piece of parcel that we need for the project. So like I said, this is on the north west corner of the Tully intersection. So, so in regards to engineering, we're getting the engineering drawings and construction contract documents finalized and ready for construction, ready for advertisement for construction. So I must have told you earlier, we're looking at almost 2,000 plan sheets and probably over 4,000 sheets of specifications and reports and all. So it's a huge volume of contract documents that we're getting it ready. Last time we were in the final draft stage. Now we are getting the final the bid package together. So it gets reviewed by our legal department also. So it's going to take some time to get the contract documents ready for advertisement. So we'll have to wait. Once we have the documents ready for construction, so we'll have to wait until the project is fully funded, including the 130 million of RM3 funds. This is the regional measure 3 funds that we need for this project, and that is held up in court because of some legality issue, and it was. I'm going to go a little bit detail into this in my next construction schedule and funding slide. So that's where we are. We have the engineering ready. So in regards to construction, the utility relocation work continues with some major work completed. Last time we talked about transmission line. That was a major relocation work. I'm sure you may have noticed when you drive by Capitol Expressway now, all the transmission lines that were on the west side, which was close to the airport, is now on the east side. So completely clear for the project. So so we had San as a water company relocate some of the water line, and this is close to Story and Capitol Avenue along Capitol Expressway. So all this work, these are all underground and overhead work is needed to clear the project footprint, for us to go in and build the project, right? So when we have, 70 plus columns, for the project, and, you don't want to be hitting any of these utilities when you're in construction. So that's why we want to, move all these utilities away from the future foundations for the project. So that's what we're doing. Right now. So all this work is to complete, before the main project starts, right? So the next set of work is planned to begin in October, and these would be near Story for underground PG&E and gas electric work. So before I go to that, I want to show you some of the pictures that we took during the water line relocation. So these are all some typical work photos that was taken during construction. So you see those water line pipes, and then the trenches that were dug in, and it was installed. One of the photo is about a joint there, the angle joint for the pipe. So all this work is complete. You may have noticed if you're driving by, you see all these patches of asphalt concrete covering all the trenches. So once the project is done, you will see a beautiful paving everywhere. So it's all. You might see these strips of asphalt concrete covering all the trenches, but like I said, in the end it'll be a beautifully fully paved expressway. And once all the construction is complete, the main construction. So next slide, please. So this gives you an overview. I know we have shared this before. So this gives you an overview of where the utilities are located. Majority of them, well, it's spread out throughout the whole project corridor. The red oval shapes are all underground relocation. Everything has to be trenched and moved, the utilities. And then the blue was the transmission line work that we completed. So we are very happy with the progress that we have made on the relocation, except for we have some delay in the PG&E's underground relocation work. We are slipped by a few months here, but we'll make it. Before the construction starts. So we expect all the relocation work to be complete. So next slide, please. So this is the schedule and funding slide I wanted to share with you. So if you see the blue, that's where all the property acquisitions are happening. Like I said, we had 33 plus acquisitions. It's not all or the land we're taking. Some are we call what's called a temporary construction easement. That's just some room we need for us to construct, and we give it back, the portion of the area back to the owner, property owner. So it's just a temporary area we need for building the project. So we're targeting this to be completed by December of this year. Like I said, usually relocation and construction, it continues. We're hoping to finish by December. It's looking like it's more like March 2023 is when we'll complete the relocation work. We want to make sure we don't want any major utilities to be in the way, because that is a delay for construction contract. So if there's anything like that. The yellow is the engineering. Like I said, we're preparing the contract documents, thousands of plan sheets and engineering documents. So we'll be ready for advertisement, by March. But this is what I want to mention about, the funding for this project. There are two parts. If you look down under funding, these are all the various funds we have for this project. The Measure A, the SB1. It's called, it's Senate Bill 1 is what it's SB1, I think. So RM3 funds. This is the Regional Measure 3 funds. So the Regional Measure 3 funds these are funds collected as part of the bridge tolls. I think there are about 7 or 8 bridges. I think they collect tolls, and so the money that's collected, portion of it, goes to improvements, transportation improvements across the 9 counties. Santa Clara County is one of them, right? So we have Alameda. So they have, there was a measure that was passed in 2016. So those funds are being used for several transportation projects. But unfortunately, a taxpayer group have filed a lawsuit against the validity or the legality of this measure, which is called the Regional Measure 3 or RM3 funds. So it went through several circuits, courts, lower courts, and appeal courts, and now it is held in, it was further appealed and it has gone to California Supreme Court. So we're waiting for a decision on that. There was some relation between this case versus there was another case against City of Oakland. So the Supreme Court had said, there may be some precedents from the decision on the City of Oakland case for this one. So that came out recently, but we are not certain, when the court is going to, hear the case for this one. So it may be longer. As you can see here, we'll be ready for advertisement, but we don't have the full funding in place to advertise because of the funds being held in Supreme Court. You'll see that there, we are another 46 million. We're actively, looking for funds here too. This is another, a portion of the funds that we are actively seeking. So we continue to look for other sources of funds on this project. So like I said, we'll be ready to advertise as soon as we have all these funding gaps, taken care of. So that's where we are. We are chugging along, and we should be ready for construction. If we have all this funding in place. So next slide, please. So that concludes my presentation, and I'll be happy to answer any questions you have.
If at first you don't succeed, try again. We're going to keep trying, and we're going to find that funding. And
I think
it's
Laura has a
also-
question. Hi, Laura.
Hi, how are you?
Good.
So I am parked right now, so we're waiting for prescriptions.
All
But
right.
I was just had a question. So right now, the activity that's going on, is that currently the water lines that's going on right now, or what's going on Capitol right now?
Yeah. So we just completed the water line relocation. I would say probably about 2 weeks ago.
Uh-huh.
So you may see very soon. Yeah, I'm sorry. I think I should have covered something. We have some upcoming work, right? We have the PG&E electric and gas relocation work that's going to be starting in October. You may be seeing some. If you have seen some workers, in the last in the last week or so, they may be doing some exploration work, before this relocation work can start. So that you may have seen those.
Yeah, because I have seen workers out there, so I was just curious.
Okay.
Okay,
There's
thank
also
you.
been, and I want to share too, there has been other utility work going on that is not related to our project. So, and I believe that was also AT&T work, but it's not for us. So when it's not for us, we're not obviously able to share,
Okay.
yeah. But I think their contractor is called Mastech. So sometimes it's not us. So you can always just say, hey, I see activity at this location, and we can let you know if it's us or not.
Okay, so then sticking to what you're saying right now, then you're anticipating October. Is that correct?
For the PG&E's electric and gas work, yeah, this is the underground work, and the work is focused close to Story intersection, and also at Capitol Avenue, along Capitol Avenue. So
But
that's
are you you're gonna be closing down one of those lanes during it? Because the traffic issue is what I'm trying to get to, I guess, when it's gonna begin.
Yes. So we will be closing one lane, and it's usually between 9 and 3 p.m. when they can close the lanes for this work.
Okay. And it's starting in October, correct?
Correct. So at this time, it's probably mid-October or so is what we're looking at. So.
Okay, thank you.
And that's an update we would make sure we share with everybody. We won't just expect PG&E or the other utility companies to just share it themselves. We'll go into that detail and let you know where the lane closures are, just so you can expect it and anticipate it. Are there any other questions? So tonight we didn't really have a very, we weren't focused on vibration, and a lot of it, as I said earlier, until we start construction, we don't have the dates, we don't have, when we're gonna hit the ground on that. So I'm looking forward to coming back and getting that. I really hope the art meetings happen this fall. I'm afraid to promise anything. I have the notice ready. All I have to do is put the dates in, and that will be mailed to everybody. We will also circulate it through the public, through the libraries and through Nextdoor, and definitely through you. That part's it's an exciting part. It gets the community together. I also want to share, if there are other events that that are a good fit, that we could be a tabling event, or if you want us to go into detail about any of the project parts at a neighborhood association, we're always available. We just need notice to get it together. And I also understand, and I need to confirm this with our staff at District 8, but it sounds like the Family Fall Festival might not be happening. So I thought that was going to be something we were going to do in October. So, if there are other events you guys know of that might be, that are appropriate. And we're starting to bring in more customer service rep because I know a lot of people, when I'm sharing the project information, I get a lot of feedback that like, oh, it's finally happening. That's great. And I'm like, yeah, but now do you want to talk about construction? And like, yeah, it's going to be a mess, isn't it? But they're like, hey, we're really glad we're going to get this. And then the next question is, how do I load my Clipper card? So it's always good to have our customer service folks there. You want to go ahead and go to the next slide?
Okay,
Do I hear somebody trying to talk?
okay,
before I go?
can I, maybe, I hope I understood and money. The estimation for the project is 530 millions. I'm right or wrong?
Correct.
Okay, and you guys say you have about 328.2 millions, right?
Correct.
And 201.5 millions, that's why you expecting that money to continue the project, or where you gonna get the money, or how you got, or you guys have the money, or how you going to do that?
Yeah. So right now, we have two parts of the funding. That's the RM3 fund, which is 130 million. And then the other part is the 46.6. Let's say it's a 47 million, dollars. Right? The RM3 is the one that is held up in the court. We'll have to. It all depends on the court's schedule, right? How early can they make a decision? I mean, you probably know the court system is very slow when it comes to, in a case like this one, and this is really affecting a lot of agencies, like VTA throughout the 9 Bay Area counties. I mean, we are talking billions of dollars, held up, because of this lawsuit that was brought up by one of the taxpayers association. So we don't know when that's going to happen. So the other 46.6 million, we also, there's a funding gap. So we're looking for, we're exploring, various options here in the sense of various funding to see, how we can close that gap, So those are the two parts.
So as one of the reasons you guys waiting for the court?
That is correct. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ernesto.
Thank you.
Go back one. Go back one. Thank you. So I would like to wrap it up, sharing upcoming meetings. We have the board of directors next Thursday. We don't have anything on this project on the agenda, but I always just like you guys to know that there is a meeting coming up. And then the Eastridge to BART Policy Advisory Board, that is with Cindy Chavez, Supervisor Chavez and Otto Lee, and then also Councilmember Carrasco and Arenas. We will be meeting on September 15th at 4 p.m. And they also, I didn't say this earlier, we didn't meet in May because we had a memorial for the tragedy that happened last year. That also, and we didn't have a policy advisory board in June. So we have a 6-month catch up with them as well. And then the next meeting that I'm look forward to, that's a stakeholder working group meeting, will be in November. And but I hope I connect with you. I'd like to get some more, I'd like to be more connected with everybody between meetings. I feel like we had too much of a gap. And like I said, what I'd like to hear from you also is, what would you like us to bring to the table, information wise? Is there something we should go back and bring back up and explain in more detail? If you don't have an answer tonight, that's okay. Email, contact us, contact me, and we can work on that. Okay, next slide. This is the fastest meeting ever. Ernesto, did you have something again? I saw you.
Yeah, okay, those meetings, everybody can attend the meeting, so you just have to go with Magdalena and Sandy Chavez. Or
Yeah.
Anybody else can go or not?
Absolutely. No, it's public. And in fact, this is a good slide. I always ask people to subscribe. I have it in the newsletter and I have it on here as well. but this is the part where if you go to the project webpage, bta.org, Eastridge to BART, and you scroll down, it will look like on the screen, and it has a little envelope and it says subscribe to updates. That's where you put your email in. And Ernesto, I think you are on there. But
Okay.
for everyone else, if we can, encourage your neighbors, your friends, to sign up. And then when you sign up for updates, you can sign up for other projects or other meetings. And so I would highly recommend that you also sign up for the Policy Advisory Board meeting. So that way, when the board puts out their agendas and reminders, you get it automatically. But what I need to do is commit to remembering to let you guys know also to remind it. So I'm writing that down now as well. If I put it in my calendar, it will happen. If I rely on myself.
Oh,
Okay.
thank you so much.
Yeah, no, they're good meetings, and we'll do similar presentations, a little bit more abbreviated because they want to get information. So okay, I think we can go ahead and go to full screen, or yeah, get rid of the presentation so I can see everybody. This was the fastest meeting ever. We've never ended before 7:30, but like I said, the first 2 years it was a lot easier to come up with, all the succession of the project, everything that's, coming to put it together. And with the funding delay, and not being able to start construction, I mean, we thought we were getting, I thought at this point we would be starting to go out to the community and really start pushing, the information on what to expect for construction, and we're not there yet. So open to your ideas. Hopefully November we have more update and we can get a little bit more concrete on some of the noise and vibration. We'll see. I don't know. It's hard to anticipate that right now. So again, anything you guys think of you want to know about, let us know.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ernesto.
Thank you, everybody.
Okay. And I will acknowledge Hassan did join us at 7 o'clock. I saw him pop in. Okay, well, that's all I
Okay,
have, folks.
Thank you.
Thank
right.
you
Thank
for
you.
your time. Appreciate it.
Have
Thank
a
you. Good night.
Have a good
Good
night,
night.
everyone. Thank you.
Good
Thank
night.
you.